Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Come on in. Welcome to the live. Come on in. Happy November. Happy November. Happy November. How's everybody doing? Come on in. Everybody scream. In this town of Halloween. What's up, Ine Demere? Wait, Demerel? In this town of Halloween. What's up? Oh, yeah. Hey, Clarice. Clarice. Okay. Welcome to my channel, Elise's History Corner. Welcome if you are new. Welcome back if you are returning. Like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that post notification bell so you can know every time I post a video, go live, or post a photo. Step outside. Hey! Okay, as you can tell by the title, we are going to be discussing plans for Thanksgiving, guys. Comment what y'all gonna do too. What's up, Darren McLean from Scotland? Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What's going on? Today is the 18th. Okay. So between now, what's going on? Today is the 18th. Okay. What's going on? What's going on? Okay. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and get all the ingredients I'm going to need for the dinner. Okay. I'm cooking at my house. However, we're going to have a family gathering at a cousin of mine's. Also, Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is, like I said, I'm gonna buy all my ingredients, which is I need butter, a lot of butter, margarine, a lot of sugar, I need to be writing it down. I got plenty of eggs right now. Cornmeal, green peppers, and onion. Box of cake flour. Penny cream, cheese, and like I say, with the real sticks of butter. Okay. To this point, obviously, my injury, coming off an injury, being able to be a part of, especially be a part of a team, part of an organization that, is serious about giving back, just as much as I am. Around the holiday season, you kind of get that cheerful spirit of, people that are blessed, paying it forward. So I'm blessed for all of them. My family, my kids, everyone. I can't lose. I'm always going to come in with a smile on my face because, I got God on my side.
Was there anything that you got to take advantage of with the little mini buy after such a packed week last week?
Not really. I mean, I saw my son, I saw some of my kids, so that's important to me. I don't really do too much. I told you I'll be in the house mostly, so I'll explore Boston eventually, but for now, we on a mission. Thank you. What are you thankful for? A lot. To this point, I'm just reasons that you got. Okay, so, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to make up my sweet potato pies first. Okay, then after I make up my sweet potato pies, I'm going to put them in the freezer so I can lock in the freshness. Of course, I'm probably going to put one in the oven too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's up, Ethan? What's up, Andrew Charles? Breathe. Commissioner, hey. Breathe. Put me in Chanel. Hey, put me in Chanel. If you say you love me, then put me in Chanel. Make me breathe. Okay, after I put my sweet potato pies in the oven, in the freezer, then I'm gonna make my dressings up. I'm gonna make probably about 3 or 4 pans of dressing because I'm gonna save 2 of them for Christmas. 2 for Thanksgiving, 2 for Christmas. I got a big pot where I'm gonna be to put all that stuff in though. Gonna make me a. We are on our way to Wally World. If I hear one more 18-wheeler blow their horn, you in a small residential park. Shut up with that horn already. You ain't speaking to nobody. And you know what? Oh, excuse me. Gonna make me ow. If you say you love me, then put me in Chanel. If you say you love me, then put me in Chanel. If you say you love me, then put me in Chanel. Hey, hey. It's gonna make me breathe. Okay, guys, we are at Wally World. Let's see. It was what I supposed to have been coming in here for. Okay, I got my drinks. I'm probably gonna buy another Celsius. Let's see. What else I need? What else I need some pepper. Pepper taro. Beautyland's prayer call is on.
We lift our voice. We offer God praise tonight. Well, good evening, Beulah Land, and all that are watching tonight. I welcome you to our Tuesday prayer time. Glad that you're in the virtual space with me. I know that you're thankful for today and what God has done and what God will continue to do. I want to continue to center and orient and anchor our minds tonight so that we can stay focused on this particular season of being thankful for what God has done, is doing, and will do. And when I thought about that concept of Thanksgiving and giving thanks, there's an example in the book of Acts that the Apostle Paul gives us, really to remind us that we have a lot to be thankful for. And it's found in the book of Acts, in Acts chapter 27. He lays out this example for us, and God reminds us. And it starts in Acts chapter 27, verse 1, where it says, when the time came, we set sail for Italy. Paul and several other prisoners were placed in the custody of a Roman officer named Julius, a captain of imperial regiment. So the imperial regiment. So here we see the Apostle Paul is identified as a prisoner. The context of this is that the Apostle Paul had been accused in Jerusalem by the Jews of something that he had not done. They said he had desecrated the temple by bringing non-Jewish people in, and that he was violating the law of Moses
for the Roman government. Because the Roman Israel, Jerusalem was occupied and controlled by the Roman government. So everything had to run through them. So the Jews that bring Paul to the Roman government and say, hey, we want to bring charges against the Apostle Paul. It gets to the point where ultimately Paul is taken prisoner. And in the context, they're traveling from Jerusalem to Rome. Because Paul invokes his Roman citizenship and he says, listen, if I'm going to be tried, I need to be tried in front of Caesar. He wanted to be in front of the emperor of Rome. And they put him on a ship with about 276 other people. And they're traveling to Rome. Paul is doing this and he is a prisoner. And as they're traveling, they encounter some trouble. Because this is what happens. It says the next day, as gale force winds continued to batter the ship, the crew began throwing the cargo overboard. So they're traveling from Jerusalem to various ports. And they encounter these strong winds, and they begin to throw stuff overboard because they begin to panic. And then it says the following day, they even took some of the ship's gear and threw it overboard. So they thrown over the cargo and thrown over some of the ship's gear that they actually would need because they're panicking. And then it says this terrible storm raged for many days, blotting out the sun and the stars. Watch this. Until at last all hope was gone. So the storm got so bad, there was no sun, they couldn't see any stars, and this was crucial for them to navigate because at that time they used the sun and the stars to navigate, to direct them along their course. So they had lost hope. And this essentially means that they felt that they were not going to make it. Everybody on that ship headed to Rome felt that this is it. This is the end. There was panic all around. But just as the day was dawning, Paul urged everyone to eat. He says, you have been so worried that you haven't touched food for 2 weeks, he said. Because in between that time of them panicking, God has spoken a word to Paul, a word of encouragement that he then encourages everybody on the ship. He says, you've been worried so much that over these last 2 weeks, you have not eaten. Even eaten food. This is the Apostle Paul. Now, think about this. This is the Apostle Paul, who is the prisoner among other prisoners, sailing on this ship by the people who are putting him in prison, making him a prisoner. And he's telling them, listen, you guys are worrying too much. You haven't eaten. Let's slow it down. Let's think about this. Now, I don't know about you, it would probably be very hard for me to think about worrying about the very people who are trying to imprison me. But Paul, who was a follower of Jesus Christ, he sets an example for us. Because watch what takes place next. He says, then he took some bread, gave thanks to God before them all, and broke off a piece and ate it. So he had bread, he broke off this piece. In the midst of all of these pagans who didn't believe in God, he broke it and he gave thanks for what he had. And he ate it. Let's think about that. He's a prisoner on his way to the emperor of Rome, not necessarily knowing the details of what is going to happen on the other end. But here he is, encouraging the very people when this one believer, in the midst of this chaos, in the midst of these pagans who didn't believe in God, watch what takes place. Then everyone was encouraged and began to hear. All 276
You put
of
these
us
together.
who were on board. As a result of what Paul did in the midst of the chaos, in the midst of the storm, in the midst of the uncertainty, in the midst of all of these unbelievers, he gave thanks. And because of them seeing him, Paul, give thanks and helping them, they were encouraged. Here's the principle for you and I. We're embarking on this Thanksgiving season. And all of us are going to meet or connect with people that don't know Christ. And although there are chaotic times, yes, there are chaotic times in our world, in our country, we're still believers. We're still followers of Jesus Christ. And we have a great responsibility and an awesome opportunity that God has specifically selected you to be just like Paul. In the midst of the uncertainty, we have an opportunity to show that we're giving thanks. In the same way that Paul took the small piece of bread and broke it off and ate, we need to give thanks to God so that other people who don't know God can be encouraged in the same way.